Her Journey to Healing, Reaching Women with a Desperate Cry is an 8-week Zoom seminar in which Kamala and Winston help women to start living their best life by rediscovering the image of God in their life. Kamala, a licensed marriage and family therapist, joins her husband of 16 years, an ordained pastor, to marry the clinical and the spiritual. You will begin living your best life filled with love, joy, and peace. Register at kwministries.net for this life-changing seminar.
God is patient. God is kind. God is long-suffering. God never fails. God always hopes. God always trusts. God always perseveres. God doesn't envy. God doesn't boast. God doesn't seek his own, but is always seeking what's best for you. God rejoices in the truth.
That's right.
God doesn't define love. God demonstrates love. Hello, my name is Winston Taylor.
And I'm Kamala Glenn Taylor.
We would like to welcome you to our first episode of Her Journey to Healing, Reaching Women with a Desperate Cry. Oh, that I know the exact definition of love.
Mm-hmm. I think for a lot of us that our definitions of love don't just start when we're adults. So if you think about it, where did you first learn to love? Who'd you learn it from? What were the models that you had? Who were the people that you followed along with, and who taught you how to love? And that's where we start to answer that question.
I think this would be a good journal point if you could write in your journal, where did you learn to love?
I created the sickle cell coloring book for kids because just like you, I was worried about my child's sickle cell diagnosis. I had so many questions that I needed answered. This coloring book answers how sickle cell affects the body. It shares terms that will help you understand what's going on so you will be empowered.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining us tonight. And you're actually joining us from warm California.
We're really excited about that.
Happy Valentine's Day, Kamala.
Happy Valentine's
I'm not seeing
Day.
you. I'm not getting a full picture of you there. Let's try it. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day, babe. How are you?
I'm doing great and warm here in sunny California.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining at all.
We've had a wonderful day so far. A little snug here or there, but God has been really, really, really good to us. You're not fully in the. There we go. All right. So we're excited tonight. We're really, really excited. It's Monday night. So it's Monday night with KW, and Jennifer is here live. And well, not she's in our audience, in our virtual space, and she's saying good evening. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Come in, and we'd love for you to invite somebody else. So it's Monday night. You're here with us. We have very special guests for you. And happy Valentine's Day, Jen. And we're going to just have a wonderful conversation on tonight. I'm looking forward to it. But Kamala, what is Monday Nights with KW?
Monday Nights with KW Ministries is all about, well, first of all, let's start with what we do. We're all about reaching people with a desperate cry. And our Monday Night Live came out of our own desperate cry, our own marriage, where I walked away emotionally, where he was hurt by the things that I did. And that created a gaping void that we are in the process of journeying our way through. And so being in a desperate place is not something that we're unfamiliar with. And what that taught us, or what it reminded us of, is just the same way we could be in a desperate position and could, by God's grace, begin our way out of it. That other people,
on our journey to healing, that other people were probably in that same place too, and that they would really benefit from hearing about our own experience, from walking through our experience with us and getting to the other side of theirs. And then the other part to that was recognizing that there are also other people who've been through it too, and that their stories can connect with other people as well. And so by so doing, we all go along this journey of healing together. When you talk about their stories, I'm thinking about having Jennifer on a few weeks ago. And what an amazing story.
It was.
Out of pain, finding love.
Yes.
Stepping back from active pulpit ministry to just discovering God a whole new. And then I'm also thinking of Sophia's story. What a story.
Gosh, last week.
What a story. Man. I couldn't hold back the tears last week. It was a powerful story. But then I'm also thinking about Ellie, whose journey with children with sickle cell.
And how that birthed a ministry of entrepreneurship. It birthed a ministry of being able to reach others in similar positions and give them resources and guidance. And I think every single person that we've had on has been able to communicate something to our audience that they so desperately needed.
I think about Alicia, whose daughters, because of her daughter's allergic response to other products, became, with the help of her brother, and became a scientist. Her brother's a scientist.
And they developed Puretopia
that we've used with our children, and it's magical. So we're excited. We're excited about being here. One of the things we're doing, as you know, is we're keeping shop. Our store is open. You're welcome to head over to kwministries.net. There you're going to find some amazing t-shirts. You're going to find some devotionals. You're going to find...
I don't think you should just say we're going to find some devotionals, because really, the devotionals represent where we started with KW Ministries.
It is.
So say a little bit more about the devotionals.
So in the devotional section, we have 4 amazing devotionals. We have The Journey Begins, where we spend a lot of time talking about how God loves us unconditionally. And then one of my favorite ones, I'm going to say that about all of them, is A Journey Through Spiritual Warfare, where we expose the devil's lies and we tell you, Satan's lying to you. He's not as powerful as he says he is. I remember talking with Delia Holmes, and Delia said, Satan can't do anything to you. What can Satan do to you? Everything he did to Job, he had to ask God's permission before he could do anything. So we wanted to expose some of his lies in that. And then we have a journey through Revelation. Look, it's Jesus.
Yes.
And it's a different spin on Revelation where you see Jesus in every single chapter of Revelation. And then we have a journey with Jesus through the Gospel of John.
And I think honestly that one is my favorite one. And maybe it's because we're having
the Bible
study about John right now. But it's really just about believing in Jesus, which sounds like it would be kind of a moot point. That's what we should do. But we find that a lot of times we really
don't believe in Jesus. That's right. And that journey through John gives us a perspective on helping us to learn how to believe in Jesus. And then so we have some amazing t-shirts there.
We do. We have tote bags, we've got cups, we've got coloring books.
And then our daughter.
Yes.
And speaking about our daughter, we're asking for prayer even in this moment. As we speak, Annika is actually directing us from the hospital because Ariane has actually had a flare-up today, and she's right now in the hospital being treated with IV, and they're doing blood work. So, just keep her in your prayers. And
don't get too nervous, guys.
We're not nervous. It's a part of the process, and we've put it all in God's hands, and we know that she's going to be okay. And Jennifer said, so okay, I can register that. Yes, Jennifer, jump over to kwministries.net. And Jennifer was quick to tell us that, you're hosting my cousin tonight. So we're excited. Please head over to kwministries.net. That's our store. Head over there, grab something. We're live there. You won't miss anything. That's right. Annika has a setup over there, so you won't miss a thing. But I'm excited to introduce our guests tonight. But before I introduce them, let's introduce our prize. We have, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jen. Let's introduce our prize. We have some an amazing gift for you tonight. Nikia Higgins with Simply Love in a Basket.
Simple Love in a Basket.
Has a Valentine's gift for someone. And Annika, in a second, she's going to put up the little string on how you can win this Valentine's Day gift. Of course, it's going to come to you later, yes. But you will win a beautiful basket. Go ahead,
It's important for you to note that in order for you to win this basket, you got to stay with us.
That's right. Let me see if it will show. I don't know. Nikki has sent me pictures of them. Let me see how well. Okay, good. Not bad. It's not really doing justice of how beautiful these things are. But they are absolutely adorable. It's not really doing it justice. But that will be coming from Simply Love in a Basket. We want to give that away to someone, and Annika is going to tell us in a second how. Then the other thing, she's already done it. Okay, good.
Says, make sure you put the word love in your post to win the basket. That's how you do it.
So Annika, are we saying it's whoever does it first, or we will choose? I'm not sure exactly how we will do it, but she's saying make sure that when you comment on something, put the word love in your post and you can win a basket. I'm excited. Yes. Oh, we can't win a basket. Oh, so
that's okay. We've already won.
We've already won. All right. So we're excited. We're excited to have this conversation going. Our guests are here. They are people that but let me introduce them, then we go to break. Our guests are no other than Pastor Everett Brown and Mrs. Lana Brown. They are, when you think of love, you can think of these people, okay? They are deeply in love. And when I say deeply in love, neither persons are mushy, softy. But when you'll hear the conversation tonight, you'll hear how well they know each other. You will see how they support each other. You will see how they're equals. You will see how they work together. Now, I promise you this, Pastor Brown is going to do this at least 10 times tonight. I promise you. I guarantee you that at least 10 times tonight, he's going to do this. And we're going to have so much fun. Let's take a quick break. Tony, it's good to see you out there. Jennifer put love you both. Nikisha put love. Let's see who Annika is going to give this to. Annika, you're going to be in trouble tonight. I think you're going to need to make that a little bit harder. But let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with our guests.
So anxious resistant. So remember there were 4 categories, right? So anxious resistant kids were on the opposite end of the spectrum. They didn't have a lot of self-confidence. They really clung to their caregivers, whether it's parents. When I say caregivers, I mean parents, grandparents, just
Whoever's
old
taking
people in
care
their
of them.
lives who were, really part of that initial bonding experience. For these kids, they tended to have really exaggerated emotional reactions to stuff, but they also kept the distance from their peers. How did this translate into adulthood? That translated into anxious, preoccupied adults. And so they kind of formed less secure bonds with partners and feel really desperate for love and affection.
All right, Kamala. So let's welcome in our guests, Pastor and Sister Brown. We're so excited that you're here. Thank you so very much for joining us. Oh, look at the shirts.
Glorious.
Valentine's Day.
I don't think that we could have had Valentine's Day with a better set of guests than we have tonight.
I agree with you. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Had a rough day, but happy to be home to relax. We came home from work, drove all the way from Mandeville home, and took some time to watch or participate in an evangelistic campaign, share a little with the boys, and here we are, just excited and happy to be joining you both.
From our bedroom.
Actually, we wanted to be away from everything, and so we decided to set up in our bedroom for this particular moment.
I love it. And not just that, but where were you? Jennifer Wilson is saying good night, Pastor and Sister Brown. How did you guys spend this weekend?
Oh, well, you mean this weekend?
Yes.
Well, our weekend. Hi, Jennifer. We just before I talk about the weekend. I have this sense. I heard Anna Kay said something, and Winston tried to deflect it. So before you said that, before you talk about the hospital, I knew exactly what was going on, because you said something. If you had just shut your mouth, to talk, then I would not have gotten the secret. But I know that my granddaughter was not well. So before I say anything, I want to breathe a word of prayer for her.
Thank you.
Gracious God, we just thank you for life. Thank you for love. Thank you for family. Thank you for friends. We thank you for your grace in our lives. But we place Ariana and the medical team that are taking care of her at this time. And we know, God, that your healing hand will be upon her, and that she'll be good. I know Winston, I know Kamala, I know the family is concerned at this time, but you, oh God, promised to be with us, to heal. Yes. And I know that she's in your hands. And yes, if she's in your hands, then she's safe. Thank you for doing what you've always done, for blessing, for healing, for caring, I pray, in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. I didn't want to distract you before you come on. I didn't want for you to worry.
I'm a big boy. I can take a few punches here and there. But yes, we went to the North Coast.
Where were you this weekend?
It was not for fun. It was church. We went to church on Sabbath and spent the day at the crusade. And
where you spent the night?
Pardon me?
Where did you spend the night?
Hotel.
At the hotel. Oh, come on.
Praising the Lord.
We were praising the Lord.
You were praising the Lord. Yeah, I bet you were.
The goodness of God. And that's all we said. We're praising the Lord.
Yes.
talking about his love and his grace. And,
We looked at the moon, the stars,
Of
how
course.
beautiful God's wondrous creation.
of
Yes,
course,
yes,
and of course, birds were singing. It was
Listen,
fun.
I knew we were going to have a great time.
Yeah, so,
All right,
so
Pastor Brown. Let's talk for a second. Sister Brown, how did you meet Pastor?
Through church. Absolutely. I saw the very tall, dark, and handsome
oh,
gentleman.
Hey! Woo!
I was his member. But before I met him, I met another pastor's wife told me about this young, handsome pastor who is not married while I was at university. And she said, Lord, Lana, you're so nice. You'd have been such a nice little pastor's wife. And I said, what? You know, she's crazy. And we met Everett. And of course I said, wow, this is such a nice, handsome gentleman. Could he be for me? Absolutely not. So I looked at him as a friend in the beginning, right, at church.
Pastor Brown, how did you meet Sister Brown?
well, I was her pastor, and to be honest, she and her sister and two other young ladies, maybe three others, they were part of a group. And frankly speaking, I thought, you know, it was here were these young ladies that was into themselves. Yeah, I mean, and I certainly thought they were, let me say, very shallow. They dress well, they participate, and so on. And yes, that's what I thought. I thought you guys were just into looking good, dressing up, coming to church, and so on. The average, fine. And so, one day, her sister, not she, her sister invited me to participate in young people. They had this musical program, and they asked me if I could just drop by and, give a thought. And I said, hey, after that, I think at that program, she did something. She sang, of course, but she did something. And I said, hey, listen, maybe there's more to these. And you want me to continue?
Yes.
Subsequent to that, I pastored in the Brownstone district, and they invited me to come back and to speak. So I said, okay. I said to myself, maybe I should invite her sister to come along and to sing. So not she, I invited her sister.
You was like looking at my sister.
No. Certainly not. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even looking at you there. For me, you're neither male nor female. You're just a member of the church.
Listen, Jennifer said, loving this. I told you this was going to be good. I tried to warn you all.
Honestly, I didn't see her in other than a member, and as I said, young ladies who likes to dress up and so on. So I didn't think that there was anything deep spiritually about them. And then, as I said, that invitation to participate in that program, and I saw them functioning, and I said, hey, listen, there must be something deeper based on how they actually executed the program. And so I invited her sister. I said, listen, would you guys like to come and share this program? And she says, of course, Pastor. And then they came, they drove to my house, parked their car at my house, and I
offered them
in my car to the church, and we had a wonderful day because a wonderful day at church. And then when we're coming home,
No. Before that,
yes.
it was a group of young people, and we were all chatting and enjoying ourselves. But then I felt, because when I travel long distance, I feel like sometimes I feel sick, I get nauseous, even though we had to sing and participate. And so while everybody talking and enjoying, and everybody in the conversation, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to sit by myself for a while. And being the wonderful man and the very thoughtful man, he noticed that one of his guests just sitting by herself, you know, and he decided to come inside and sit with me. And that was it.
Yes, Lord.
After we started chatting, I couldn't get rid of him.
I don't know that.
I wanted to go and lie down, and he's there just talking, oh, Lana, and he's there, and he's like, I couldn't get rid of it. But to be honest, the conversation, it was so interesting.
I
wanted to continue to talk and talk and talk and talk. And anyway, we didn't see anything in it. But after, I said to myself, oh, there's something about Everett, you know, it's quite deep, you know.
Well, I found the conversation interesting. And we ended lunch wherever we had lunch, and we decided to drive home. And while we were driving,
no, man, we went back to the program, and I sang for him, and I said to myself, if I turn left, he's looking at me.
Yes, Lord.
Right, he's looking at me.
when you were
I'm trying to sing, and he's just staring. I'm so wait, this pastor is looking at me.
I found the conversation interesting, and so I said to myself, I mean, I would love to pursue this conversation, not the person,
The conversation.
a little more. And so while we were driving home, we started to chat and so on and so on and so forth, and I found it more interesting. And then after we
no, but before you reached there, something interesting took place, because we were actually friends. And when we're driving home, and the three of us, my sister, in fact, it was supposed to be 4 of us, and the other 2 girls could not come.
Right.
So while we're talking, it was so interesting, the 3 of us, my sister and Everett. And I all of a sudden, I knew that something was different.
Yes.
I didn't know what it was.
Yes.
It felt like I stepped into a different compartment.
Yes.
And I started feeling shy around him.
Interesting.
Talking, and all of a sudden, it's like, I mean, I could laugh and looking in his eyes, and all of a sudden, I can't. I'm there like glancing at him. And
I have to pause you.
And my sister is saying, wait, this is not Lana. Oh,
I have to pause you right here.
Hold on, mommy. Julie says, I love a sweet love story. Hi, Julie.
I have to pause you right here, because the Lana Brown that I know
It's not
is
shy.
not shy. And so I can't imagine in that moment, or in those moments, how you were even, how it even made sense to you. Did it make sense at all?
I somehow I sensed at that moment that he was a person who was not only beautiful, ravishingly beautiful, someone who had there was some substance, something deep about her spiritually, and her worldview was broad, and our conversation was engaging, and the breadth of our conversation was something that was exciting. And so I said to myself, after I dropped them off and they left, I said to myself, you know, I'm going to invite her out for lunch.
Oh.
And I didn't call her. I think I called her sister. And I told her sister that I needed her number. And
because he used to speak to my sister more.
Yes, right. And got her number, called her, and told her that I'd love to. I found the conversation very interesting. And I'd love to. I'd like to time so it
I
ends.
love to focus on the conversation. Great conversation.
But you know, before we're gonna go to a break in a second. And by the way, if you're watching and you know you don't want to go over to the store and grab something, but you want to Cash App us, Anna Kay is gonna put up our Cash App, and you're welcome to support us through Cash App. Again, remember, we're having fun, but we're keeping shop. All right. if you notice, Kamal, I think Pastor Brown mentioned beauty maybe 3 or 4 times. But this word conversation, conversation, conversation.
And there was something
deep.
deeper.
Right. There's something deep, spiritual, and it was broad. And I hope people that are watching, that are interested in getting into relationships, are willing. Jennifer says, you want to read that?
Yes, I'm seeing the love on your face, Sister Brown. I'm seeing the love on your face as you speak about back then, loving the love story.
And that's what I said when we started this conversation, is that these two people are in love.
Yes.
They genuinely love and care about each other. And it's 9:25, but we want to learn how they got here.
Yes.
But that word conversation, that word deep, that word broad, you hear that? You didn't hear, as a matter of fact, what Pastor Brown said to start was, he noticed that they were well dressed and nicely dressed and thought they were shallow.
Yeah. It wasn't about just appearance.
It wasn't about appearance at all.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back. Cash App us.
Decide to write this book in the way that you did?
Well, I know that I don't really I don't like really reading books about my condition. It makes me feel like all I am is my condition. So when I wrote, I wanted to write in a conversational tone, so I can be like, hey, I understand. This sucks. It really does, but it doesn't have to suck. And that's why I wrote it in the way that I did. Because I wanted others to feel like I'm talking to them.
Who's your audience?
Okay, well, not only would I like to talk to those who have chronic diseases or are dealing with something, but just kids in general. Like 10 to 15 would be probably my good audience.
What do you want them to learn from reading your book? What do you think you gain from it?
That they might be going through troubling times right now, and it might seem like it's a big hole of despair and that you can never get out, but with the help of people, with the help of Jesus, you will be able to get out eventually. And that is not my heart line. I'm perfectly okay, I promise.
Again, you can head over. Julie says, I ordered it, can't wait to read it with Olivia. Yes. And we can't wait to send it to you, Julie. Let me tell you, when she wrote that, we asked her to write it, and I said to Kamala, could you please go through? And then Kamala went through and she said, okay, good. And I said, go, what do you mean by good? I need for you to go through it. And she said, there's nothing to go through. I don't have anything to do. I don't, so these are her words. These are her experiences. And I'm telling you the truth. I took a long time to read it. And when I read it, I bawled like a baby. Yeah. So please head over to kwministries.net and order and in case I must say that of the profit, 25% goes to Uganda, to our orphanage, and 25% goes to researching Crohn's disease. All right. Now, Pastor Brown and Sister Brown, you guys have been married for how long?
This year, 29 years.
You've been married almost.
I'm happy she answered.
You've been married almost 30 years. Talk to us. How I have experienced that from and Pastor Brown, I have nothing on you when it comes to pastoral ministry, but I think you would agree with me that from your pastoral ministry that most married people are unhappy. People stay together because of financial arrangements. People stay together because of the children. People stay together because it's more expensive to get a divorce. One person a few months ago said to me, if I divorce her, you know what I lose if I divorce her? And so people stay together and they're very unhappy. You guys, I know that you're happy. The question I'm asking you is how did your 30 years of marriage, how did you remain happy? And I want for you to walk us through the rough times, walk us through how you navigate them, and talk to us.
So
Take us
before
to school.
we speak, I could speak from a female perspective. So one, acceptance. You need to accept the partner God gave you as a gift. So the first thing, I look at my husband as a gift to me. Two, compromisation. Always compromise. Yeah? There are times that you may think you're right, but sometimes it's good to step back and listen. Listening and communication. Always speak to each other. I remember when I was getting married, even in regards to sex, my sisters told me, my older sisters, because I'm the last girl, they said to me, Lana, from the beginning, always be honest to your husband. Tell him what you like, what you don't like. So from the beginning, we speak, so it's natural. Sometimes, we can laugh at whatever we do. We're not perfect, but we can laugh at the inadequacies, husband?
Yes.
The shortfalls, right?
Yeah.
So by accepting, you look, and you also believe in love. From the day I got married, I believe in love, and so I'm still a believer. Yeah, you don't give up on love. So I still believe in love. I still accept the fact that I'm in love, and I accept the fact that the man that God gave me is a gift. And even financially, even though I am a financer, I'm an accountant by profession. My husband understands to manage money, so I step back as a wife. And we have one bank account that we, everything is together, so that my husband can never feel less of a man, even if I were more than him. Exactly. I don't do that anymore, but I used to some years ago.
We're going to talk about that too.
Yeah. So the fact is that he must never feel less of a man. Yeah. So that is part of why we work together as a husband and wife.
I love how you started with acceptance.
Yes, I wanted to follow up on that.
Because I think this thing of acceptance, I think, is something that across the board, marriages, relationship, it's something that's so important to us as human beings, to be able to accept. Just accept.
But what does that mean? What does it mean? What does accept mean?
Let me. Kamala, I think that is, Lana, that is for me the number one ingredient that has kept us.
Yeah.
First, you need to listen, man. You need to love you.
Yes.
You need to be happy with you.
Yes.
Let me say this, that I did not need Lana to make me.
Right.
But what she has done is to complete me and make me better.
Yes.
Right. So if how do I say this? Is that I first recognize my limitations. I first recognize my weaknesses and my strengths. So, and I'm comfortable with that. And so when Lana came into my life, what she did and what she does and what she continues to do is to accentuate, to help me to build, to help me to be a better person. So I accept me. Secondly is respect for the other person. You cannot experience happiness in a marriage unless you respect the person. And when I talk about respect, I mean respect for even the idiosyncrasies that she talks about, the weaknesses, the strength. For example, you know this about Lana, is that she would laugh in your face. You would be, and then after that she'd cry. So that kind of, I am the person, Winston, I'm the person, Kamala, who would maybe keep up something for 2 days. Lana doesn't. She lets go easily. So because of that, even if I wanted to hold on to something, so it is all about giving and taking, respecting yourself, accepting yourself, respecting the other person. And so difficult times comes in, but if you value the person, if you respect the person, and if you accept yourself, you'll be able to together work out those challenges.
All right, let me read. We have some comments. I'll read Julie's. You'll read Jennifer's.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna put up Julie's. Julie says, I met my husband late in life and hope and pray we get to spend as many years as possible together.
Great.
And then Jennifer is saying, I'm learning from you, Sister Brown, as a young wife. Thank God for tonight. Acceptance.
All right, Pastor Brown, I want to go back to accepting yourself. And we're not going to, you've thrown out a lot of words. You have thrown out acceptance. You've thrown out respect. You've thrown value in there. You talked about not holding grudges. You've talked about, things to keep us going to tomorrow. But I want to stay with acceptance and accepting yourself. Accepting yourself. In accepting yourself, when it comes to your flaws, when it comes to your weaknesses, when it comes to where you did not see, so for example, me with Kamala, I believe that God has just gifted me the best woman. I don't see how my friend Carl Brewer, who has known me since high school, when he met Kamala, said, how on the God's earth did you pull her? And so recognizing my own weaknesses. Once you recognize your own weaknesses, how did you accept yourself? When you recognize your own shortcomings, what was the process that you used to learn to accept yourself?
Right. I recognize that with all of those shortcomings and weaknesses, that I still have a lot to contribute. Right. I recognize that I had deficits, but I also have a lot of assets. And hence I have something to offer.
Yes.
There is something good about me.
Yes.
The worst in me, I have so much. For example, when I met Lana as a young professional, I disclosed to her that I'm a pastor. My earning capacity is that. And hence my expectation for living is that. It's a pastor's lifestyle that I'm going to live on a pastor's salary. But eventually, as we got married, I recognized that back then her salary sometimes was 3 times mine. But I spent her money.
Yes.
And spending her money. And it did not make me less of a person in recognizing that I am supposed to be the provider. So I'm providing for the family with her money and feeling confident. So it did not make me less of a person because she was earning, because I had a lot of assets in the relationship that was more than the capacity to earn more, right? So if you have to appreciate yourself, you have to value yourself, And,
Yes.
and when you recognize that, hey, listen, it's not only that I'm weak in this area, but I'm very strong in this area, and hence this is me. And when you begin to accept yourself and feel good about yourself, you will be able to accept others.
Yes,
and feel
Lord.
good about others. But when you think less of yourself, and guess what? Guess what? I'm not competing with Lana. Lana has some wonderful skills. What I'm happy is to use what I have, to blend it with what she has. Sometimes I have to step back and to allow her to, because my own feeling is that, and you said it, Winston, and we have said it. I believe that she is God's gift to me to make me a better person, and I think likewise. So yes, that's how I approached it. That's how I've approached it.
And speaking of acceptance, when you look at the good and the bad, one of the things you must learn to do is to laugh at the bad.
Yes.
So, for instance, persons waste time, on simple things when you could spend time on the great things. So we took a decision very early in our marriage not to waste time. So, for instance, I hear some person saying, the man this, he would throw down his clothes, this, he would leave the toilet seat, this. We don't focus on those things. I mean, I've sat on toilet seats and in the night, go in the bathroom and drop through the toilet because the seat was left up.
Wow.
But guess what? I laughed. Because, you look at these things as
the problem was with the glasses is not.
But what I'm saying is that never you waste time on the
Foolishness.
Small.
Yes. Oh gosh.
when
Yes.
you have so much to gain from the greatness. And so once you keep focused on that, and the key is to laugh a lot.
Yes.
Laugh a lot Everett could be speaking and say something up there, and he's trying his best not to laugh.
That's number one. That's one.
Oh boy.
Myself and the boys, we're killing ourselves with laughter, and he knows, and then he's trying his best to continue to bring and not look at us. So you must find fun among each other. You understand? And also, we have never gone to bed angry with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Everett is saying that, so I can't keep malice, and that is true. But also because if I'm angry with him, I basically start teasing him and laugh it off, right? And then just by the laughing and the teasing, he can't keep it up, for long. So you should devise ways that you can work out your relationship and diffuse tension. I mean, it kill me to sleep, to go to bed angry.
And another thing also is that, and the Bible speaks about it, that marriage is a union between two persons.
Right.
The minute you start moving out of that sacred circle and start involve friends,
Yes.
family, Lana is loyal to me, and I'm loyal to her. Our differences, we try to solve it within the sphere of the marriage. And so I would feel as if I'm depreciating myself if I should go out of the marriage to share anything.
And make your wife look bad. Exactly.
So we try to keep it as close within the family circle. And I find that by doing that, we are able to deal with things in a manner that respect and value each other. So far, it has worked by the grace of God.
Pastor Brown, I really appreciate you saying that, because I feel like even in our own marriage, that was one of the mistakes that I made, where when things got tough, I really sought other people's advice and attention and all of those things, and it didn't end up being helpful at all. And so I think you saying that is so important to other people as well who are listening along and want to know, what works, what makes marriages work. And you guys said so many really important things a while ago. Finances, not being intimidated by each other, being able to laugh at each other and laugh together. I mean, those are like the basic. Those are the foundation.
Those are things that we still need to unpack more. Julie,
I'm not. But I have to say this: common interest.
Yeah.
Lana is not, and she likes to go out, but Lana is not the going out. When I say go out, that I mean she would die to go out. She would feel comfortable at home with herself and her family, and I am that kind of person too.
Yeah, together.
We love people. We love people. We like to be with people, but we enjoy each other's company. We like to share with each other, and that tends to bind us together. We have common interests.
Yeah.
we have 2 more comments. Let's take Julie's first.
Oh no, go ahead.
Shortcomings can lead to mistakes, which can lead on a different path and shape who you are. My husband and I both talk about how our poor choices placed us on a path eventually to find each other. Julie, that's so true. I was telling that to my daughter. I was saying that to Ariana just the other day. I was saying to Ariana, listen, I was talking to her about school, and I was saying, Ari, if I did what I was supposed to do in school, you would have never met me. You know, I did foolishness and you know, yeah, and went all the way around. And so you're right, Julie, that sometimes our poor choices can lead us into very good places. But that does not mean that we continue making poor choices. Very good.
And if I may slip this in, I'm not suggesting that if you're having challenges, you should not seek professional help.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm not saying that you should not seek professional help.
Right.
So indeed, you may need professional help. What I'm talking about is that family, a third person in the relationship is not a positive for the relationship.
No.
Third person is God, or you're seeking professional help that both of you cannot deal.
Right. And that's true. And you know, for example, again, we are the perfect example of that. That's what we should have done is sought professional help instead of turning to friends, which almost destroyed our marriage. But we praise God for his grace and his mercy. You want to read what Jennifer said?
Yes.
Jennifer has a question, Pastor.
So question to you. What would you say to a man who feels intimidated by women who are career driven and also a wife who feels their husband is not progressive enough?
Right.
Good question. Very good question.
It goes back to acceptance.
Right. I was going to say you answered it already.
We're not competing against each other.
That's right.
Anytime, listen, and maybe because the genes that God has placed in me, one of my delight is to wake up on a Sunday morning and to prepare breakfast for my family and to see them eating it and smiling. I find that when I support my wife,
come on, Pastor, come on, do it right.
I support her and I see her progressing. I see myself winning.
Yes.
I see myself achieving.
Yes.
So I don't have to. If my wife achieves, I am achieving. Yes. So if my wife is earning a PhD, I am earning a PhD.
Come on, Pastor.
In earning a PhD, I am feeling good. It is me because we are one. So when your wife excels or your husband excels, you are excelling. Right. And so you must recognize that no two persons are the same. Right. And no two persons will have, even if you both have PhDs, in terms of your intelligence and your awareness and your exposure, you're going to be at different levels. Right. So one will be at a different level educationally, but at the same time, in terms of experientially and other assets, you have a lot to contribute, and you're not defined by what is behind the letters behind your name, right, but what comes out of your head, your good taste in terms of your attitudes and mannerisms and so on and so on and so forth. So all of that, you need to recognize that you have wonderful assets, even though your wife, push your husband. And at the same time, a husband may recognize that you do not have to become a PhD, but everybody wants to improve themselves. And so you should, it may not be a BSc, it may not be a PhD, I'm sorry, but whatever you choose to do
it well.
Improve yourself.
That's right.
And sometimes in the beginning, and that's why we spoke about communication. When we started communicating first, you try to understand the mind, the world view of the person. So when you communicate, you should be able to understand whether this person would push themselves go further. You must see something, and that is why, even though I knew I loved Everett, and Everett loved me and proposed to me very early, we should have a longer time for me to tell you that I turned on his first proposal. But that's not
Number 2, 8 to go.
But what I'm saying is that I remembered, even though I was getting in my late 20s, you know.
You mean I pull you off the ship? I pull you off the ship. I save you off
People
the
say off the ship, but it's not true. You know, I was a little girl when he got married to me. So kind of lose my train of thought. Only kicking that as well. Okay. So just
you must be able to. What you were saying was that even whether you're love or not, you must be able to see something in the person.
Absolutely. And so from then you start accepting, because it will come a time that you may see a wife prettier than your wife.
Come on,
your wife, or a husband that is more handsome, more physically attractive, brighter. So you have to take the decision to accept your gift, what God gave you, and until you can totally accept, and that's why I'm talking about acceptance for where that person is at this point. If the person goes beyond that, great, but you must be able to accept, because if you're not accepting, you're going to feel uncomfortable, unfulfilled, and so on. So when you can accept your partner, and she's saying that, you know, consider a husband that is not, you know, what should I say, pushing, competing to be better. Well, guess what? The first thing is to accept him.
Yes.
Right.
Accept him where he is.
Yeah.
And then after, you can start the conversation. Over time to find out whether he wants to grow and develop. But suppose he's comfortable where he is. You marry the man.
Yeah.
You need to accept and love him.
And growth doesn't have to be academic.
Absolutely.
But may I say something too?
Yeah, Anna K is gonna kill me if I don't take a break. Let's take a quick break and come back.
Okay. Because I want to explore something.
Yes, let's take a quick break and come back, because he's gonna kill me. It's 9:53. Hey guys, if you're enjoying and you don't want to buy something, cash up us. Listen, we're keeping shop. We're not just giving stuff out. This listen, you couldn't pay for this. This stuff is expensive stuff, you know. You know. All right, Annika, go ahead. Explore with us, Pastor Brown. Teach us.
Yes, along with acceptance, what I've found has kept us over the years is, and don't take it lightly, is trust.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you have to be second guessing, anytime you have to be wondering whether or not the person is reliable and trustworthy, there is a problem in the relationship. A relationship, I trust Lana to the extent that, I mean, if I reach the stage where I have to search her phone, then there's no relationship. If I have to be search and trying to find out what have you are, where, etc., etc. I trust her to the extent that I am confident in and I respect her to the extent. So if trust is missing in the relationship, I'm not saying one will not be I'm not saying the possibility exists that you may not fail, but I'm saying when trust is not in a relationship, it fractures the relationship. And for me, it is the foundation on which any successful relationship, any successful marriage is built on. If you have to be second guessing, if you have to be checking, if you have to be secretly spying on your spouse, then something is wrong. Growth takes place. Confidence takes place when trust is in the relationship.
That's good. And so for relationships that have had failures like my own, it's important that trust be rebuilt.
Yes. It takes time.
Yes. Thank you. Vivian Hayes says, Pastor Everett Brown is in the house. We're gonna, oh boy, it's 9:57. You have two wonderful men. I came into your life when they were boys. I remember dropping them off at Willowdean, and
they still remember those days.
They're very kind. They're very kind. You have instilled some great qualities, respect, just
Value for people.
Value for people, yes. Talk to us a little bit about child rearing. We don't have time. The time is gone. And I know both of you, you're doing this because you like me. I know you both. You're doing this because you like me. I hope you like me enough to come back another time, because there's just only thing we've really dealt with is the acceptance. He just added now trust. So we have a whole list more. But could you take a few moments to just talk to us about how to take care of children, how to love them, and how to make them a part of this relationship?
Lana, we are pastoral family. Busy, but we believe that children must model what is right. So we tried to be real people to them.
You didn't try. You were real people to us.
Not some phony situation. So we try to be parents, mother and father to them, while at the same time not forcing religion on them, not forcing, but creating a space where they can make mistakes, a safe space. So we model honesty, we model love, we model respect, we would kindness. So we would demonstrate what it means to be kind, what it means to be empathetic. So we are still working, but we have tried to model those values that we believe that will enable them later on in life to be able to make the right decision. And I think modeling values I think is perhaps one of the most powerful things. So it's more than theory. They see truth, they see respect, they see honesty, they see caring, they see love being at the table, they see laughter at the table, they see us disagreeing at the table, and at the same time valuing each other at the table. So yes, we try our best to model, and also to kind of encircle them with other persons who share common values, while at the same time giving them the leeway to grow. So we don't shelter them too much. At the same time, we try to create a conducive, safe place for them to grow.
But we also believe that children should be heard.
Yes.
So we allow them. So if you meet our kids, they are very outspoken, they are independent-minded, and they disagree with you. But not disrespectful.
Yeah.
They also will negotiate terms with us. Because we allow them the space to be individuals. So even for church, we allow the choice. I remember we never told our kids to get baptized. They took the decision when they were ready.
Yeah.
And in fact, I remember the youngest one, when we were saying, are you sure? Are you sure? He took the decision that, yes, I know this, I know this, I know this, and I want to do it. You understand? So you give them the space, the freedom to create and succeed. What you don't want you to do is to be telling your child what to do. As Everett stated, you model that behavior, and then you allow them to act out a behavior, right? So there's a level of openness in that they can speak to us, and at the same time, that does not say we don't discipline them, right? Because we do, because there are times you have to give boundaries. You teach the boys boundaries, and in terms of discipline, but we don't believe in violent means of disciplining. You can do other methods of discipline, and in that way, they learn how to be, I think, more balanced.
Yes, for me, thank you, Lana. For me, role playing is powerful.
Right. We allow them. So, for instance, if we're having worship, the boys would say that when it's my time to worship, they say, "Mommy, too much of a long job." So when they also will instigate worship because they have more control and they know what they want to do, and also manage time better.
Pastor, go ahead.
Yeah.
Pastor and Sister Brown, it's 10:03, and it feels as though we have been on for 15 minutes.
Yes.
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm grateful to God for being able to talk to you both like this with Kamala, as two people that look at you both as models, that look at you both as I want to tell you real quick, one of my favorite experiences with Pastor Brown, it happened this last time I was at your house. I was leaving and you were on the phone. I came down and I told you, Sister Brown, and you were so happy for Kamala and me. And you just did your hand like this, and you just, the smile that you had on your face just said that you just wanted the very, very best for us. And that's what you talked about tonight, in wanting the best for your wife, in not competing with her, in wanting the best for your boys, in preparing an environment where they can grow up and learn and see models. The challenge with our churches and people are, everybody's trying to figure out what's wrong with the church. Why are young people leaving? They don't have models. They don't have models. And that's what you have provided for your children. That's what you've provided for me. That's what you provided for your pastors. I worked for you. You were my first boss. and I wanted to be like you every step. The other day I was saying to Anake, talking to Anake, and Anake was like, "All right, Pastor Brown. All right, Pastor Brown. You provided that model for us where we wanted, as young pastors, we wanted to be like you. You provided that space for us." And Sister Brown, you took me, and I don't know how you related to other pastors, but you have absolutely loved me, and we love you guys, and we care about you guys. Vivia is saying there needs to be a part 2.
Yes.
There will be a part 2. We'll bring them back after our audience has grown. We'll bring all our guests back after our audience has grown. But this is good stuff. Let's take Jennifer's point, and then let's give Pastor Brown final word, and then Sister Brown takes final word, and then we'll say good night.
Jennifer says, "Thank you so much for sharing and for your constant spiritual leadership and for setting the right example for persons like me. I know I can come to you for advice, Sister Lana."
Pastor Brown, would you say something to us?
Yes. The Bible talks about love, that it is patient, it is kind, it is selfless. It places the other person's interest over your own. I think if we, in any relationship, if we value self, if we value people, and if we try at all times to allow, to strive for the best to come out of people, to do the best for people. If we always try to allow people to experience delight, then ultimately we ourselves it will be reciprocated to us. Allow God to be the center of your life. Never lose sight of that spiritual grounding in every relationship. It is not spiritual grounding that is going to allow you to be patient. It is that spiritual grounding that is going to allow you to be able to go the extra mile. It is that spiritual grounding that will allow you to forgive and to be kind. Make God the center of your life. And when it becomes the center of your life, you will learn to appreciate others, to love others, and to give self in serving others.
Nice.
Just to say, it doesn't make any sense I say anything else, ever said it all, but just to say that God is love. And if you make God the center of your life, you too can have that true love that comes from God.
Nice. You guys have really been an inspiration to us tonight. I know that you've been an inspiration to the people who watch, to the people who will watch. Thank you guys so much for sharing this intimate portrait of yourselves.
Yes.
I know that everybody experiences you guys in really positive ways, but I don't
Not
know
like
how
this.
much they
No.
how much they can
No.
so thank you guys for really
and thanks
sharing.
for doing that with us.
Yes.
Thanks for doing that with us. And I want to say this to you, Pastor Brown. Tonight is the first night. Anake, tell me if I'm wrong, but tonight is the first night we have ever had an order during our show. Yeah, and I saw where a note came into me that popped up. I'm trying to find. I don't even know how to. Anake, can you check this story? I'm trying to find it so I can make sure I'm not lying. Go ahead, Anne. Am I right?
You're correct. On both counts.
We want to say thank you. Who do you know who it was from?
Christine.
Hey, thank you, Christine. Thank you so
Christine.
much. We're grateful. Thank you very much. You can't leave it, Annika. You got to give somebody the gift. So we have a basket for someone. Annika is going to tell us who that basket is for. And once she tells us, would you please? Well, Anne, what did I do? Annika, would you come back? Well, she's coming back in a second. She's going to tell us. Vivia says, thanks so much for sharing with us. We're really, really grateful. So we have a basket for someone. We're going to tell you who it's for. But until then, Pastor and Sister Brown, again, thank you both.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us, and have a wonderful rest of the evening. God bless you.
We appreciate you.
We're praying for the family and our special daughter.
Yes. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Well, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. All right, Auntie, will you tell us who we're Okay, so she's putting something on the screen. We just have a dark space there, Anne. Annika?
I'm sorry. I was trying to share the giveaway tool so you could see it in live, but it's not showing. So I'll just do it and let you know who's the winner.
All right. So who's the winner?
It's drawing. It's doing this random thing. I'll let you know in a second.
Okay. So I get you. So okay.
I was trying to show you so you would see it for yourself.
There's a process she's going through, and once you hear that you're the winner, would you please head over to kwministries.net? Would you head over to claim your prize? Would you put your information there, and we will send you your gift? So head over. Once you hear who you are, head over to kwministries.net. Click on share, claim my prize.
Nikisha Grant. I'm sorry, Nikisha Grant is the winner.
Nikisha Grant is our winner again. All right. Congratulations, Nikisha. Thank you so much for being faithful. Nikisha Grant, thank you. Now, Nikisha, in order for you to get your gift, head over to kwministries.net. That's kwministries.net. Put in your information at claim your prize. Annika is going to bring it up for us. Put in your information at claim your prize, and we will mail you your gift. We will mail you your gift. So head over to kwministries.net. Put in your information at claim your prize, and we will mail you your gift. Thank you, Nikisha. You have been on every week, and we're so... There she is. There she is. Congratulations, Nikisha. Congratulations. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Won't you join us again next week, Monday night at 9 p.m.? Yes. We're going to have some amazing men on from the Voyage movement and from and Mr. Dwayne Johnson, just great men. And there's something we're trying to do. I'm going to tell you straight. We're trying to change the world. Yeah. It is our intention to change this craziness that's happening in the world. And I've found some men that are just as crazy as I am that want to change the world. And so we're going to come on and we're going to talk about why is it that we believe we can change the world? Because we really believe we can. We're really doing it, actually. That's our intention. We intend to flip ghettos. We intend to send people to school so they can grow up and change the world. We intend to put an end to child trafficking. We have some big stuff up our sleeves. None of us have money. None of us have doctorates, but all of us have a fire in our bones. And so next week we want to talk about it. Thank you so much, Vivia. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Jennifer, you've been so faithful. Julie, thank you for hanging with us. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Nikisha, all of you who came on and supported us.
And those of you who will watch as well.
Thanks for watching.
So much for stopping by.
Yes. And none of this happens without Annika Fagan. We're very, very grateful for you, Annika. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful night. I think she's going to play.